You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere. This is your WXCO Daily News Roundup for Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 FM and 1230 AM in Wausau.
For WXCO News, I'm Melissa Kay. A leader in the Wausau Fire Department is accused of stealing large amounts of pain medications. Jared Thompson, the division chief in charge of the emergency medical program, is accused of misconduct in office for allegedly diverting approximately 1,100 vials of pain medications, fentanyl, and hydromorphone, which went unaccounted for in the first half of 2025. Both Mayor Doug Denny and Fire Chief Jeremy Kopp released statements following Thompson's arrest last Thursday, acknowledging the seriousness of the accusations and adding that the city is cooperating in the investigation. The 46-year-old appeared in court last Friday afternoon, facing 10.5 years in prison on 3 felony charges for misconduct in office. A recently solved cold case in the disappearance of a Neenah man prompts new legislation. Joanne Krulotz explains.
The body of Starkey Swenson was found 38 years after he was murdered by John Andrews in 1983. Andrews was charged with hiding a corpse, but charges were dropped due to the statute of limitations, which requires felony charges to be filed within 6 years of the crime. Republican Representative Ron Tussler and Republican Senator Andre Jacques have introduced legislation where the statute of limitations would start when the body is found.
5 additional cases of measles has been reported in Oconto County. They are linked to the 9 cases confirmed in early August, bringing the total number to 14. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services is advising everyone to check their vaccination status. Measles is a highly contagious, vaccine-preventable disease that can cause serious health complications, including pneumonia, brain damage, deafness, and can sometimes be deadly. Gas prices jumped over the last week in Wisconsin. The price at the pumps rose 23.8 cents in 1 week, with the average across the state landing at $3.06 on Monday. This is 16.8 cents higher than a month ago, but still over 15 cents per gallon lower than this time last year. Officials at Gas Buddy say last week's storms knocked the Midwest's largest refinery in Indiana offline, which caused the sharp jumps in gas prices across Ohio, Wisconsin, and Michigan. With the refinery restarting, there was some late-week relief in wholesale prices. There are currently no major hurricanes threatening the U.S., and overall oil prices remain relatively stable. This said, the biggest wildcard to prices would be any shifts in Russia's war on Ukraine. Prices in central Wisconsin today range from $2.79 to $2.99 per gallon. The Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection announces that Marathon County will host the 79th Allison Dairyland Finals May 14th through the 16th in 2026. The Planning Committee is looking for people from Marathon County and surrounding communities to volunteer with the event. Each year, a different county hosts the Allison Dairyland Finals. The selection of the 79th Allison Dairyland will take place on May 16th in Wausau. In the meantime, the 78th Allison Dairyland, Sarah Hagenow, will visit Marathon County more than 10 times before the 2026 finals, including stops at Kobe Cheese Days, the North Central Wisconsin Antique Steam and Gas Engine Show, the Athens Fair, and agribusinesses such as a maple syrup farm and ginseng garden. I'm Melissa Kay, and you're listening to WXCO 98.9 FM Wausau.
Decisions in Green Bay. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. NFL, the Packers beat the Seahawks 20-7 over the weekend. Training camp over now, and the team must decide who will stay and who will be released. Kalen King hopes he's earned a spot as a defensive back. I asked him how he'll spend his time between now and tomorrow's 3 p.m. deadline to reduce the roster from 90 to 53 players.
Spending time with myself, going over the film, and At the end of the day, it's not my decision to make, but the only thing I can control is what I put on film, and I feel like I did my job today.
The Packers making a trade, sending a 6th-round pick to Philly for Eagles offensive tackle Darian Kennard. Baseball, the Brewers opening a 4-game series at home tonight against the Diamondbacks. Yesterday, the team celebrating the life of Bob Uecker.
He had this larger-than-life personality, but if he never said one thing that was funny, and you just judged him as a baseball announcer, especially on the radio, Hall of Fame caliber baseball announcer.
That's Bob Costas with Sports on Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Conrad Krieger. Well, in case you haven't heard, Avengers Doomsday is set to premiere December 18th of 2026, with Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Yes, that's right, Iron Man is Dr. Doom. According to the Hot Mike podcast with John Roche, revealed that 2 actors clashed after one of them jokingly made a comment that the other found offensive. And the actor that made the joke? Ryan Reynolds. No surprise here. Many big-name actors are set to make an appearance in the movie. Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Alan Cumming, Chris Hemsworth, and many more. And here's to hoping Robert Downey Jr. never takes off that Dr. Doom mask. Looking for a binge-worthy show to get you over to the football season? Look no further than Tacoma FD, from the makers of Super Troopers. I already binged my way through it in 2 weeks, and it was a super fun watch. If you like comfort shows to make you laugh, check it out, streaming on Netflix. According to Puberty, Glenn Powell was asked if he's interested in playing James Bond. Glenn responded then with, the role should go to an authentic Brit, and said he could only play Jimmy Bond. Other names that were mentioned to play 007, British actors Henry Cavill and Aaron Taylor Johnson. With those actors, I don't get why Powell was even brought up. There is no official 007 plans yet, but Amazon MGM Studios has taken over creative control. Fantastic Four has been receiving praise since the release of the film. It's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes and has a 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb. On film-based platform Letterboxd, Paul Walter Hauser, who was Mole Man in the film, gave his own review. Hauser gave the film a 3.5 out of 5, saying, I love the score, the production design, and the performances. I wish they hadn't cut my scene with Vanessa Kirby, but I'm stoked that I got to be in a Marvel movie. First world problems. I'm spoiled rotten to get to act. Happy Madison fans, you're in luck. According to Deadline, Adam Sandler is teaming up with Sean Levy's 21 Laps to develop a feature adaptation of Evan S. Porter's debut novel, Dad Camp. Dad Camp is a heartwarming novel about a loving dad who drags his 11-year-old daughter to Father-Daughter Week at a remote summer camp, their last chance to bond before he loses her to teenage girlhood. Kevin Jakubowski is set to write the script. Jakubowski has worked on projects such as Brickleberry, 8-Bit Christmas, and School of Rock. Are you looking for a new piece of memorabilia? Tobey Maguire's spider suit that has been worn heavily during filming in Spider-Man 2 and 3 is set to be auctioned off on September 4th on Pro Store Auction. According to Puberty, the spandex still contains some of its original foam padding beneath the fabric. Well, if that's the case, you still might be able to smell Maguire and catch his hate for paparazzi as well. The suit is estimated to sell for $200K. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
It is going to be sunny and pleasant again today. Our high in the upper 60s to near 70 this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear. We're going to drop down into the mid-40s. Tomorrow, more sunshine with a high right around 70. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it's 51.
That's your WXCO Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at bullfallsradio.com. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.